build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello everybody, welcome to Short Bangers. I'm Matty, this is your Friday morning episode.
Good morning, everyone. That was almost like a wee David Blaine Shazam thing going on there.
It was. Is he still a thing, David Blaine? Like, is he still kicking about?
He's still alive, if that's what you mean. I don't know if he's... Do you think magicians retire? Like, do you think because he was really popular for a while there, he had his TV show and he was doing his stunts and that, and then if he's not on TV, does that mean he's not doing magic? He just packed in?
Well, there's maybe just a limit to what you can do. Like, I think he'd gone past it as well, not in a good way. Like, see when your trick is, I'm going to sit in a box.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Because was the box like one of his final or his last big public stunt? Or was it the one where he stood on top of a platform and then sort of jumped into a bunch of cardboard boxes after?
Oh, I know. That's no fucking magic, is it? That's just a stunt.
It's just endurance.
Aye, like a...
Because he was buried alive, wasn't he? Or something similar. Was that the one where he was buried in a box? Or was in a box?
How do you think he did it, up in a box for ages? Like, because your body can only survive so much, right? And there's no amount of training, I don't think, that you can do to your body to say, you didn't need fucking water for 3 weeks. Or food.
I don't know. I mean, how can you trust a stunt like that when the boy that's performing it is a magician who is well known for sleight of hand? Like, what if he had a wee packet of crisps and half a dozen bottles of Evian in there? Well,
the whole thing's like a smoke and mirrors, isn't it? I mean, that's like the thing. Magicians never do the thing that they said that they've done. Like they never guess your card and just fucking pluck it out from nowhere, or whatever. Smash up your watch and bring it back together. Like none of that actually fucking happens because you can't do that. So, by definition, what he did was fool everybody into thinking that that's what he did, rather than do it.
Do you think he was in his box with like a king size bed and Netflix subscription? Was just chilling out for 3 weeks while everyone watched them.
I mean, I tell you what it would have looked like though if he got into his. He's sitting in fucking California or something with his feet up, and it's just like maybe screens that are there to make it look like he's in the box.
Literally mirrors out of the smoking mirrors chat.
Aye, but right when he's in the glass box and they're hoisting it up and he's standing, Jen Kenny come in. Oh, another one on the way to heaven.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe a subscriber to get that, you know. Right. First question tonight, Charlie, or first question of the morning. How many times a day do you reckon you listen to your favourite song? And Charlie says he's a solid 3 times a day.
I'm going to have to say 0. Well, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what my favourite song is, but there's every chance if I was out in the car and I had the Bluetooth on that it might come on. But it's definitely it's not like something I go, that's my favourite song. Fuck it, I'm going to play it again. There are times definitely where I enjoy a song enough that I'll maybe play it 2 or 3 times in a week. But I want to know what Charlie's listening to, that he listens to it 3 times a day.
Are you fidgeting with something?
Me? Yes. Sorry, can you hear it?
I can hear it, just in case Tom's listening.
Sorry, Tom. I'll keep my hands to myself.
I'm the same. I don't think I'd be hard pushed for a favourite song, right? But I think it changes depending on your mood. Do you have songs that suit particular moods? Or I would, if you were pressed, John, right, and to say, but you have to pick one here and now. What's your favourite song?
I'm going to say Root Down by the Beastie Boys.
I looked up something on the Beastie Boys earlier on, and it shows you how out of touch I'm. It'll come on to it because one of the questions we've got relates to something that might fall under that category. In fact, I'll try to find the question now, and we'll just jump ahead to it, and I'll come back to what we're talking about there. Right, who has the question? We asked questions. It's a wee Vic and oh, here we go. Stephen Bell said after the release of the recent Hearts themed crap song, crap in brackets. And did you see that one? The boy did the is it drill music?
Sadly.
Fuck me. What's the greatest hip hop album of all time?
Do you know what? It's funny. I was talking to a mate about what was I talking to him about? Talking about going to hip hop concerts because Wu-Tang Clan were, I think, touring with Nas recently. And we were talking about going to hip hop concerts, and he was saying that they're a bit of a hit or miss because he said that the concerts, and I think by extension the albums don't always reach like a climax that other albums do.
Yeah.
It just sort of like bobs along and it's all nice, whereas other albums have got, something in there. So my answer to that is I don't know because there's not a lot of hip hop albums that I've listened to all the way through. And especially I think maybe because of the period that I started listening to hip hop. And I don't know whether this was true of like earlier hip hop, but it seemed like there was a lot of filler in the albums, just like folk talking or just fucking shite. Whereas other albums I've enjoyed because there's been like a nice sort of like ebb and flow to it and like almost like a story, if you like.
Well, when I saw the question, right, so I'm not into hip hop at all, right? And I was like, but I must like some. And I thought, well, Ill Communication or Hello Nasty by the Beastie Boys would be what I thought I would probably pick, right? Because they're probably the only two that I would have listened to. And I was like, are the Beastie Boys hip hop? But they are. Like, I looked up and Googled it, and that verified that. I just sure, like, I'm out of touch. I'm a fucking old man, right? But
I saw something recently that suggested that the Beastie Boys had invented their own style of music. Like it was almost like they'd invented their own genre.
like
But if you
cross.
were to probably describe it as something, it would probably be hip hop.
Well, they're good, the Beastie Boys. A lot of time for them. So that's what I would go for. To answer your question, Stephen. Anyway, back to Charlie. So you said which song was it from the Beastie Boys?
Root Down.
Root Down. I think if I was pressed for a favourite song, I would probably go for How to Disappear Completely by Radiohead, which is just a fucking genius song. Challenge.
If anyone wants to message in and suggest any hip hop albums, I'll give them a go.
Yeah, I won't. I might. I won't. I'm not cool enough for hip hop. Like I imagine, like if I was to drive along in my car with hip hop going, anybody would look in and just go, "What a fucking cunt," like that. Like I know they would, and I would if I was on the outside looking at it and saw me listening to that. I would just go, "Fucking, you're having a midlife crisis, or you're trying too hard." Like that. So, I would just
is the fear with regards to hip hop that if someone was to hear you playing it in your motor, that they'd think there's that Tim Westwood cut.
Aye, maybe there's that, or
because he was like 60-year-old, still wearing like massive baggy trousers and jackets and that. Besides the allegations,
with the voice and accent and that as well, which was weird.
Is he not like a vicar's son or something?
Oh, I don't know. But we watched. I don't know if you'll have seen it on BBC, The Sixth Commandment. So it's just come out, and it is. I'll try not to do spoilers. Based on a true story, right? It was basically about this guy who commits will fraud on these two pensioners, right? Basically, there's a.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Right, but there's a part in it where the guy who's like a trainee priest, when he's doing this, and in court to prove that he was thinking about killing folk and everything, they play a bit of a rap that he'd written and performed himself, and it's awful. Right?
Is it as bad as that Heart Supporters?
No. And there is no music that is as bad as that. Like I can say that with some degree of certainty, and I know music is completely subjective. Nobody will listen to that and go, I can think of something worse. Nobody. And if you did, if you do listen to it and go, I can think of something worse, I would say you're a liar, right? There's for so many reasons. It wasn't even like, oh, it's so bad, it's good, right? There's loads of songs that are really, really bad, but they're so bad they're good. You would listen to them and go, it's ironic or whatever. This was just fucking shit, right? Awful, awful, awful shit, right? So it wasn't as bad as that, but it was ballpark. And I think if I would, because the problem with driving and listening to music is you sing along, right?
Mhm.
I guess everybody does that, right? It's not just me. You sing along when you're on your own, not when I've got other folk in the
Aye,
car because I can't
definitely.
fucking sing, right? So sometimes I might accidentally sing a wee bit when I'm in the car with others. But when I'm on my own, I'll get loudy. Now, take what we thought before, like somebody looking in and going, oh, look at that fan listening to hip hop, look at AJM and everything, and then I come. Imagine if I'm also not just listening to it, but singing along and they see that. No, like, so I don't think it's for me. That's the conclusion I come to with hip hop. I just don't think it's for me.
I don't think I've heard an older white man expression in my life.
It's just not for me. Right, Murray Minter 75. I think we've had this question before, right? But would you rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader? He also added, haha.
Oh, it's a hard one. Because Yoda, like, I know that you like your Star Wars, but like he does talk in riddles. Like, go and get to the point.
Mhm.
On the other hand, you've got Mr. Bronchitis there. And it can be easy. I'm saying bronchitis, and I'm going to follow this up with a joke about asthma inhalers, but it can be easy to get a nebulizer or your, what's it called? Your inhaler, whatever
Uh-huh.
that drug's called, down your neck when you've got that big fucking mask on. Never mind. I think he's got like, has he had some sort of, did they have some sort of accident that required the mask in the first place?
Yeah, got burnt alive. Obi-Wan did it.
No danger.
I cut his
Didn't know that.
pretty much cut his legs off and left them fucking burning in lava. And then the Emperor came along and went, oh, we'll save him, put him in a suit, and he could be a baddie.
No wonder he had a bit of an attitude about him.
To be fair, he was a whiny wee dick before that. Like, aye. See, if he'd been a better teenager, none of like Star Wars would have happened. He would have been like, if he'd been a sound cunt as a laddie, Star Wars wouldn't. You'd have to have gone. It would just be called Star. There's been a fight, right? It would be a shit film. It'd just be about folk going about their own fucking business, doing stuff, going, oh, I'm glad we're not getting blown to bits the day.
But there still would have been an empire, right? There still would have
Well,
been
no,
like the bad guys, but without a leader.
there might have been, but they wouldn't have been as feared because Vader was like who's fucking with Vader until the Jedi's re-emerged. Nobody was because they were like, this guy's just he can kill you by putting his fingers together. You're not fucking with him. So if he was on the side of the goodies, he would have stopped it. He would be like, oh, this Emperor can't speak in causing all sorts of trouble. I'll go and have a word with him. And then him and Obi-Wan would have went as pals and went, Emperor, you've got to stop this. Calm down, mate.
Do you think this is a wee bit of a deep question, but do you think that violence, death, genocide, whatever it happens to be, is inevitable when someone has power? So in your instance, you're talking about Darth Vader, like with the power to give someone a wee, like move his fingers and that saying they've got a broken neck. But presumably, if none of the bad things had happened to him, the fire, the legs, the whatever, he would have still had that power, and he could have used it for good. But it seems to me that that power would probably corrupt him anyway.
Nah, I think you just imagine how quick you could do the tidying up if you could just wave your hand about. That fucking Darth. We've had a house party, like you've had an empty, and you're
Just like one big sweep of the hand.
My
and a
mum
big
and dad are
black
coming
bag.
back quick. He goes, fucking use the force. Everyone goes back. In fact, he wouldn't even be in the suit. He wouldn't even have been Darth because the bad stuff wouldn't have happened to him. He would have been all right. He would have just been Anakin.
He'd have probably been a good looking boy, kind of like longish hair, sandy coloured. I can imagine him being a surfer based on your description.
He would have got to keep his fucking kids for a start, right? I mean, just a basic consequence of him being a dick, right? Is immediately lost custody of his kids. Didn't even care that he had them.
Is Star
So-
Wars just basically an extended version of that Lemmy sketch of turned the winds against us?
That's what it is. And I'm sure I've made the point before. The other mistake that the Empire made was calling it the Death Star. Like, you're always going to get objections to that. Just should have called it the Happy Star, and everybody would have, oh, that's a good thing that they're building there. Not going to object to that. But oh no, they went fucking Death Star. We'll blow you up. Fucking oof. Going to start a rebellion. Not having that. So get a better name. Didn't be a dick. Or if you're going to be a dick, do it quietly so nobody notices.
Like incremental dickishness.
Yes.
Like
So
build up to the grand finale.
Yeah. Right. So did you land on you would rather talk like Yoda?
It didn't really land on either. But I think given what you described about Darth Vader, if you're going to breathe like him, I'm guessing that comes with the whole package. So I'm going to say we backwards talking Yoda.
I'm tempted to do the same, right? And more for the reason, like, I'm quite unfit, right? So it doesn't take a lot of physical exercise to get me out of breath a bit,
Does that sound like Vader?
right? But that's all right. Like if you're not noisy when you're breathing, that's all right. Like you're never gonna go. It'd be dead obvious. Do you know what I mean? Like if you run up the stairs and you come in and like fast as fuck, I'm going, oh, for fuck's sake, shut up. Or like you couldn't sneak off for a wank. Because everybody like, oh, how's the breath? Well, if you've been up to like
That's a good point.
none like that. Nah.
I mean, not just like the exertion, but the amount of leather that Darth Vader wears as well. Like that's going to make a noise.
The squeak. Squeak, 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 squeak. Leather. Squeak, 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 squeak. And it comes out his bedroom, breathing heavy as fuck. Everyone's getting fucking. Darth, what you been up to?
None.
Oh, dear me, my eyes are stinging now. What you been doing there, Darth? I was just listening to some music. Squeak, 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 squeak. You're right in there, Darth. Don't come in. Don't come in. I'll get dressed.
Oh dear.
Oh, shit. I didn't expect that question to go that way, John. I've got to be honest with you. Oh, fuck. I have to take a second here because my eyes are stinging. Oh, fucking hell. Right. Wait, before last time, that wasn't even that funny. And you're probably right. Right, fattest prickers. I think we've got time for this question. Coming off social media is the topic, and the question is: what's the best way to tell people you've come off social media apart from Twitter? Asking for a mate who has come off social media apart from Twitter.
I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know how far I can go with this. What I'm thinking is that it seems like after every mass shooting, the perpetrators' social media profiles are swiftly taken down. Depending on where they've posted their manifesto or where they happen to have live streamed their shooting about. Folk do that, the way it's like, I don't know. I remember seeing it on the football forums, and you see it on Twitter as well. That's it. That's me done. Never posting again. Oh yeah. Nobody's really that bothered. You'll be back. They always come back.
The folk who go off social media didn't announce it. Like that's the thing. When you folk just go, I'm off it, and then they delete everything, and then that's them.
Aye,
They're excuse me, stuff in there.
You're not obligated to stay. Like you can leave at any point. It's no Hotel California. Fuck off.
Just fuck off. I would say if you're going to do it, just do it. Didn't announce it to anybody, then your folk will just know, oh, they've gone off social media. They'll go look up on Facebook, oh, what? I heard from that person for ages, and then they'll look them up and they go, delete their account. Or they've not tweeted for 3 months.
I might get a message of someone saying, "Oh, I see how it is." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like that was genuinely like the message that I got from them. Like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, you bought me on Facebook. Like, no, I don't have Facebook anymore. Like, what makes you think you're so fucking important?
Just canned the whole thing. Aye, just it. Right, that's us out of time, John. I'm gonna have to dry my eyes. Thanks very much for sending in some very good questions tonight. We've got another episode to record. We'll be back on Tuesday morning. If you want to hear more of this, you can subscribe. Just go to our Twitter bio and click the link. You can subscribe from just £2 per month, which, John, is
a bargain.
It's a fucking bargain, by the way. Like, I think we're seriously underpricing it. £2 per month, less than a half pint of lager, less than a Costa coffee, I think. Probably more than a double cheeseburger, but only just, I think.
I think so.
But better than a double cheeseburger. Like, you're not going to get fat listening to this. Anyway, right. Thanks for tuning in. Aye, mere laughs. And we will see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.